Projects we are working on. Keep in mind, this is just an initial where we're headed. We want you, the athletes, as heavily involved in this process as you are willing to be. So none of these things are set in stone. They are just our current path. But I am more than open and excited to redirect, split that off. Whatever it is you guys want to see this sport do for you is what we want to do. Here's a couple of things just to get your brainstorming going or get you pondering about how you could be involved, or the types of things that we'd love to have you ask for in being involved in the sport. Athlete feedback. You cannot claim to be athlete-centric or even to care about your athletes if you do not have a very clearly defined pathway for those athletes to communicate with you. We'll be sending out a survey to all of our members. Keeping in mind, a membership is $20 a year as an athlete or $100 a year as a club. We're going to be sending out a survey, getting your feedback. What do you want to see? What of the projects I'm about to list off are interesting to you or not? What did we miss out on? What can we do to make this sport what you want it to be? If you have an idea, a thought, if you have feedback, we want to hear it. So stay tuned for the survey coming out. We want very clear pathway of communication from our athletes all the way through to the top of the board. I don't like the term top, across. Because again, our board is we're just more athletes like you. We were just voted in to help guide these decisions. Projects we're working on. Consistent standards. Those of you that have been involved in the functional fitness CrossFit world for a long time, let's think how many standards we've seen just for a dumbbell snatch. I can let go up here, I have to bring it down to here, I can put a second hand on it here, I can't until there, 1 head touches, 2 head touches, hand on the knee, not allowed on the knee. I'm pretty sure that standard changed every 2 years for the 16 years I've been involved in this. That does not allow athletes to excel at the sport. Step ups, if you know, you know. So we're working on, if you haven't seen it yet, the International Functional Fitness Federation has a movement standards book. We are constantly developing consistent standards so that you as an athlete know exactly what to expect from a movement, so that your technical officials know exactly how to judge that movement. And we tweak these standards as needed and very publicly so that you can see any updates made in order to ensure better testing of our athletes, the safety of our athletes, but also consistency of ease of judging, stuff like that. We've run a ton of online competitions and events, and tweaking these things to ensure that the athletes are being adequately tested, while also very clear on the instructions of how to be tested, so that they can focus on giving their all to the test and not worrying about should my hand be there or not. Projects we're working on. Professional technical officials or judges. This is something that doesn't currently exist in the sport. There's a lot of different groups working on it. The only way to do this for an international sport is to utilize international governing bodies. So we work directly with the International Functional Fitness Federation that has, last I checked, over 70 different countries registered and involved. And we get together regularly and we meet with the goal of creating a standardized technical official training process. For example, you're starting with your online test, as most of them do, answer 20 questions, great. Now you're approved to go judge your friend in your gym in an online competition. Next step, then we get you to come out to one of our major in-person sanctioned events, and you gain a certain number of hours at judging events like that. Then you do a secondary test. You get evaluated by one of our higher level technical officials, and then they approve you to the next stage. So just like any real sport that exists, we are developing that same standardized method of ensuring that the judges that determine your placement are consistent and they know what they're saying and doing. We're still largely relying on volunteers, as the whole board is. I personally have a dream through my other company, the Functional Fitness League, which is a private company and separate, to be able to afford to always pay our judges, because I think that's a big part of legitimizing the sport. That being said, the first step to that is creating a standard of judge that you are willing to pay. Also, developing the software to make it easy to find them. So when you're running a competition in your local city, town, wherever, we have a giant list of our certified, standardized judges and technical officials that you can pull from, that you know are easy to find and easy to get involved in your competition and event. Because you can't call it a fair test of fitness if it's a different judge has a different idea of what a movement standard is or what's okay and what's not. Projects we're working on. The big overall project and the kind of main goal of the Federation is technically to create an Olympic sport. That kind of has a set pathway. Every country is a little bit different, but to get internationally recognized by that committee is the end goal. I want to see this in schools. I want to see your kids getting credit for taking part. I want to see PE classes with functional fitness programs, or even a functional fitness class in your high school or university that kids can take so they can learn movement standards, strength and conditioning standards, and truly what it means to be functionally fit. Which, to get there, we need this same approval process. We need to be provincially approved, which means we have to write out these coaching pathways, long-term athlete development principles. We need to prove that we are showing we are developing a safe and inclusive sport, and then we can get provincial recognition, then we can get Canadian and national recognition, and then once we have enough governing bodies, we've got 70 something countries involved right now. I believe at least one, Sweden or Norway, has been nationally approved. They have professional athletes in the sport. Their government pays athletes to take part and to compete. And when you see the numbers of athletes registered for world championships, you can tell which countries are very supportive of the sport, and it's awesome. It's really cool, guys. If you've never taken part or been at one of the international events, we ran Masters Worlds at the Richmond Oval. There's nothing like it. Having 400 athletes from 50 different countries come together for the love of a single thing is I mean, again, it's just like every other sport, and that's what it deserves to be. Projects we're working on. So one that I am personally taking on, that I've been working on for a year now, is the software to help us manage this. So if you take a look at our website now, you can go see, you can set up a profile. This links into a backend that I've been developing and working with the IF3 on, and we're working to make it so that it's very easy for you to see what clubs, athlete stats, who's competed in what, but not only that, technical officials. So you can figure out who is a technical official. If you need them to come help with your events, there will be a contact list for that. We can give you access to the information that you need to help grow this sport in a way that is easy to see and understand. So we're developing our own software that I hope will be eventually internationally utilized, so that all of the federations and countries can all be fed from the same software, so that when you're a level 3 technical official as recognized by the IF3, every single country can access that same database and go, cool, we need them to come help with this event, or we'd love to invite them out or pay them or do whatever. As a coach, you will be a recognized coach, and you will see these coaches climb through the rankings across different nations, and you'll be able to see who these people are. So that's one of the big projects that I'm personally working on, and I'm very excited about, because I think it's a big part of helping grow this sport. We want you to get involved. Again, we'll be sending out a survey to all of our registered athletes. Just create a profile, and we'll include you in that survey. We want to hear from you what you want us to do. What can we do to help make this sport everything that you want it to be, so that you can feel safe, comfortable, and confident, that you can give it your all at every single competition, that you can send your kids to functional fitness events and know that they will be safe, they will be taken care of, to know that there is long-term development principles in place for you, for the athletes, and for the sport, to know that it'll be consistently growing in a way that you want to be involved in. And the only way that we can do that is by involving you in it. So if you're interested in getting involved, we encourage you to reach out, fill out the survey, let us know, and then we'll put together that information and pitch out kind of some new projects and the direction that we're going to be going with Canadian functional fitness over the next couple of years.